Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Freight Be Moving, all things logistics with me, Jewel Williams, your host. I hope you had a great weekend. Today is Monday, a fresh new week coming into the second week of December. The new year is looking bright and festive already, and we're not even there. I am excited for today. Yes, so let's talk about it. Logistics and legal problems, or the legal problems and logistics, however you want to flip it. That's for the conversation for today. And I'm covering a story I found in the Federal Register dated today, Monday, December 5th. Let's talk about what happens when something goes wrong and the shipper and either the freight broker, or in this case, the NVOCC, or the non-vessel operating carrier, or the freight forwarder, have a little problem or a big problem, whatever the case may be. But in this case, we are talking about a complaint that was filed by Thompson Pipe Group, Inc. against Omni Logistics, LLC in Texas. So the complaint says, complainant, which is Thomas Pipe Group, Inc., alleges that respondent, which is Omni Logistics, LLC, violated 46 USC 4102C, 4102D, and 4104A in its practices and assessment of charges, including demurrage and other non-freight charges related to the movement of containers. This is very important. As freight brokers out there, transparency is critical. It is important that we stay on top of the information that we are providing to our customers so that they understand why these charges are incurring, because these costs impact the cost of their goods sold. That's the bottom line, the cost of their goods sold. So, docket number 22131, found on the Federal Maritime Commission's website. You can also see this. This was served on November 29, 2022, and it is public knowledge. We're using this as teachable moments. This is about teachable moments. It's not necessarily about gossipy moments. It's about teachable moments as business brokers, professionals, and so forth. So it is verified that the complainant, also known as Thomas Pipe Group, Inc., TPG for short, and the respondent, also known as Omni or Omni Logistics, LLC. Those are the two parties that are involved. So TPG is a supplier and installations contractor of concrete, steel, fiberglass, and polymer pipes and structures used for drainage, sanitary pressure, and trenchless applications. Omni, also known as Epic Freight Services, was providing carriage services, moving containers from ports outside the United States to ports in the United States and to TPG's job sites in the United States through the United States ports. Omni's quotations did not include information about the demurrage, and Omni never informed TPG about its policies with respect to the demurrage. So what TPG is claiming is that Omni failed to fully disclose all of the necessary fees regarding demurrage. Now, according to the complaint, in or about November 2021, Omni began issuing invoices to TPG that included demurrage charges. Omni's invoices and supporting documentation were utterly insufficient to enable TPG to assess the property of demurrage or propriety of demurrage charges and to mitigate damages. In particular, Omni invoices and supporting documentation fail to include the following information: date when the respective container was made available, the allowed free time, the start date of free time, the end date of free time, the applicable detention of or demurrage rule on which the daily rate was based, the applicable rate or rates per the applicable rule, appropriate contact information for questions or requests for mitigation of fees, and a statement that the charges are consistent with any of the commission rules with respect to detention and demurrage. Moreover, it says Omni provided its invoices to TPG with up to 4 months delay after the transactions happened. So according to the complaint, demurrage charges were already paid in excess of $860,000, yet there was an additional $362,000 plus that are being charged to TPG by Omni. Now, one thing I found interesting in this complaint is Omni terminated TPG's access to a shared internet location that hosted a file that tracked shipments and associated fees and cost. This right here is definitely a teachable moment. There is a lot of transactions going on out here in the market. I've read several situations on many different boards about brokers being scammed or losing freight, shippers not knowing where things are at. And here you have a situation where, due to billing disputes, the broker, freight forwarder in this particular case, has locked out the client from seeing where their cargo is. Now, this is something that is huge, because you've got a lot of digital stuff going on right now. And if companies have the power to lock out visibility of freight and cargo, what is going to happen when their shipper needs to get access to their goods and they cannot? How is that relationship going to pan out between the shipper and their customer, let alone what's happening with the carrier or the broker, in this case, the freight forwarder? So the teachable moment here is about, as professionals in this field of transportation logistics, being transparent about the information, keeping records in order, and making sure that the customer has a clear understanding of where the charges are coming from and why. Many stories out there about demurrage. I wouldn't be surprised if there was more of this that's about to happen due to all of the issues that are happening out here with scams and things like that. There's probably more complaints coming down the pipeline. If these things cannot be settled in-house, they're going to be elevated up to the proper authorities, such as the Federal Maritime Commission. So this is a brief video today. I'm going to keep it short. I want to make sure that you guys are getting some value, not taking up too much of your time. I am going to ask you to send some comments about the situation if you've had something like this happen to you, where your carrier or your freight broker locked you out. Or are you in a situation where maybe your customer is being challenged with some of the billing and you're trying to figure out, how can you settle this? You don't have to tell all your business, but I would be curious to know if there are other freight brokers out there experiencing billing disputes due to things like excessive charges that were undisclosed to the customer? And how can you remedy this situation? How can you remedy this and then still maintain the relationship, a positive relationship with your customers? All right, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this information. Like, subscribe, share, and if you are driving out there on the road, be safe, be safe, be safe. All right, peace and love. I will catch you tomorrow. Bye.